Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. In the headlines, the plight of the Nimbo community in Uzowani local government area in focus after herdsmen invasion. The Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project tells the federal government to reverse the 0.5% cybersecurity levy directive to banks. The Libyan Criminal Investigation Department releases a video on successful rescue of more than 100 illegal migrants. Israel says its objective remains to destroy the Islamist Palestinian group Hamas as ceasefire talks continue in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Details in a moment. In the evening of Sunday, April 28, 2024, the sleepy farming community of Nimbo in Uzowani local government area of Enugu State was attacked by armed men. In the latest incidents, 4 people were confirmed killed and scores injured. The community is today deserted. The Nimbo invasion of April is only one of the more than 4 such incidents since 2016 when herdsmen were alleged to have invaded Nimbo, killed, burned, and displaced many families. The 2016 attack claimed more than 40 lives. In this special report, Signature TV visited Nimbo community after the latest attack. Please be warned that some of the pictures may be disturbing. We are at Ugujoro in Nimbo, a community in Uzowani local government area. Deserted homes, empty farmlands is actually what greeted us when we arrived in Ugujoro, where armed herdsmen attacked Nimbo community in Uzowani local government area. It is a tale of devastation, anger, anguish. The story is unbelievable. At this very spot was where the funeral ceremony was being held. Canopies were actually mounted around this area when these armed herdsmen came through from that spot, from that zone, and attacked them. This spot was where one of them died. If you could see, there's still some blood stains right on this spot.
While I was returning, I heard Hausas were shooting in the village. I didn't know what to do. I asked what happened. They told me Fulanis have killed my husband and my grandson. I was running and heard sound of gun. I returned back to inquire what happened. I went to the uncompleted building and behold, I found my father and my son shot dead.
This spot was where the village head of Igujuru was killed. He ran away from his house and came in right here to hide, only for the armed herdsman to come right here and shot at him, and he died right here.
I was sitting right here, that is my room. And all of a sudden, as I just entered the room because I wanted to dress up and go out, I had 3 gunshots right beside my house there. I opened the curtain and I saw these 3 Fulani herdsmen right by that side. That is where they stood and shot the gun that way. And the whole people that were sitting on this canopy scattered. Myself, I ran back towards my neighbor's place. I was following that man because I'm a stranger here. I don't know where to run to. So I was running alongside with him. When we ran down towards that very house there and hid ourselves, not even knowing that same place we were hidden, we are the road they were passing to go back again. It was while they were going back, I now saw that there were 3 of them. It was 2 of them. I stood by the corner of the, by the wall of that house. There's an uncompleted building there. While the other man stood here with that his small grandchild on the hand, and I was holding one other smaller girl. That was when these people arrived, 2 of them by this side, and they shot. The comment I had made that time, you don't die today. All I was shouting was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They now released that gunshot too that killed this man and his grandchild.
We are dying due to hunger. The armed Fulani people, numbering 3, came shooting sporadically. My husband ran out into the farm for safety. One of the herdsmen ran after him while shooting. He eventually fell in the open field and died there. By then, I had already run off for safety.
Around 4 or 5, then the Fulanis surrendered our area. And when he was trying to run away, he was shot. They killed him from garden. Herdsman killed him through gun. And he's now in the mortuary, he's dead. I don't know what to do. Very serious pain. I'm very, very serious in pain right now.
Old times, old memories and old rhythms came back in Enugu, the Enugu State capital, on Tuesday. On the royalty, government officials, music icon and lovers of high life gathered in the cold city to remember and relive the memories of Celestine Ukwu and his philosophers nationwide. The executive director of the foundation established in honor of the music legend Cynthia Ukwu said she was overwhelmed by the crowd, the dignitaries and the respect her father was receiving.
My expectations are coming true. Seeing all these people here, gathered for my father, gathered to immortalize my father, gathered to honor them. That's my expectation. I'm so happy. That's it. Basically, that's it. I feel very fulfilled now. Seeing all these people, my people that love my father, his fans. I can't express my feelings now, really. I'm in awe.
The Enugu State government is moving beyond Tuesday's events. The Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dame Madueke, said the state government will partner with the Celestine Ukwu Foundation to celebrate the both anniversary of the music icon passing and make a cultural and value statement which Celestine and his music represented.
In commemorating Celestine Ukwu, we reaffirm our commitment to preserving and promoting our cultural heritage. May his melodies continue to echo through the corridors of time, reminding us of the beauty and resilience of the human spirit. His Excellency, the Governor, has asked me to tell Ndiabo and Nimbo that we are waiting eagerly to celebrate the Golden Jubilee, the 50th anniversary, which will be coming up in 3 years' time.
The highlight of the event was the unveiling of Celestine Ukwu Memorial Foundation by the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Nimbo.
So my job, the first thing I have to do is to unveil, for most of us here who have never really met this wonderful young lady, because most of us never knew that Celestine Ukwu had a child.
Celestine Ukwu died on Owerri Onitsha Road in an auto accident on 7th of May, 1977. Serap threatens illegal actions against the federal government over cybersecurity levy. Join us after the break. The Social, Economic Rights and Accountability Project on Tuesday issued a warning to the federal government to reverse the 0.5% cybersecurity levy directive to banks. The NGO, in a post on its X handle, threatens to institute a legal action against the government if it fails to reverse the levy within the 48-hour time frame. The Central Bank of Nigeria had on Monday, through a circular, directed that banks begin charging 0.5% cybersecurity levy on transactions with effect from 2 weeks from the date of the issuance of the circular. The circular, which was directed to all commercial merchants, non-interest and payment service banks, however, announced exemptions to certain critical transactions to avoid undue burden on the consumer. The exempted transactions include loan disbursements and repayments, salary payments, intra-account transfers, intra-bank customer transfers, instructions from other financial institutions, interbank placements, and transfers between banks and CBN, among others. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested 6 senior officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps over alleged financial misappropriation to the tune of 6 billion naira. The 6 senior officers of the Corps, who were being grilled by the EFCC, interrogators at the Commission's headquarters, Jabi, Abuja, were handed over to the EFCC on Monday on the orders of the NSCDC Commandant General Ahmed Audi. The EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, had earlier written a letter to the NSCDC demanding that the officers be released for interrogation. The Nigerian Senate on Tuesday restricted some media houses' access to the newly renovated chamber for legislative activities. The National Assembly Sergeant-at-Arms, who was stationed at the entrance of the chamber, told journalists that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio instructed the security unit to restrict and prune down the number of media houses covering proceedings in the chamber. It was also observed that a document signed by the clerk of the Senate, Chinedu Akabueze, and pasted at the entrance to the hallowed chamber listed only 7 media houses that would cover proceedings. Those accredited include the Nigerian Television Authority, Channels, African Independent Television, Television Continental, Arise News, New Age, and Advocates Broadcasting Network. The leadership of the Press Corps had on Wednesday last week met with the clerk of the Senate to harmonize issues relating to covering its proceedings in the chamber. Journalists who report the National Assembly have expressed shock at the actions of the Senate. You are watching Signature TV News. Over 100 migrants rescued in Libya. Join us after this break. The Libyan Criminal Investigation Department, CID, has released a video on showing what they describe as the successful rescue of more than 100 illegal migrants, including injured in Kufra, as part of the first operation of their newly established Joint Emergency Security Chamber. CID video footage shows their force while demolishing the house where the migrants, including women and children, were staying before they were freed from captivity in a town in southeast Libya. Walid Al-Ofari, a spokesman for the Criminal Investigation Department in Benghazi, said some migrants had disclosed that they were held in captivity for up to 7 months and that they wanted to go to Europe. The migrants are from a variety of sub-Saharan countries, but mainly from Somalia. Al-Ofari said Libya has become a transit route for migrants fleeing conflict and poverty to Europe via the dangerous route across the desert and over the Mediterranean following the toppling of Muammar Gaddafi in a NATO-backed uprising in 2011. Israel said on Tuesday that its objective remains to destroy the Islamist Palestinian group Hamas, as its negotiators were set to leave for ceasefire talks in the Egyptian capital Cairo. Israeli government spokesperson David Mensah said international organizations were encouraged to evacuate Rafah before Israel began its operation in the eastern parts of the city. Israeli jets have carried out repeated strikes on eastern Rafah, the city in southern Gaza, where more than 1 million Palestinians displaced by the 7-month war have been sheltering. The Israeli military said a limited operation in Rafah was meant to kill fighters and dismantle infrastructure used by Hamas, which governs the besieged Palestinian territory. The UN agency said on Tuesday that the 2 main crossings into the southern Gaza Strip remain shut, virtually cutting off the Palestinian enclave from outside aid, with few stocks positioned inside. Maradona's golden trophy goes to auction. Join us for sports stories after this break. Diego Maradona's Golden Ball trophy, won for being named the best player at the 1986 World Cup, will be auctioned in France in June. The Augustus auction house said on Tuesday that it is the first Golden Ball to go for auction, and while the value is still to be confirmed, the auction house expects to be fetched millions on June 6th. Maradona, who died in 2020, won the award after leading Argentina to World Cup victory in Mexico, scoring 5 goals at the finals where he captained his country and played every minute of the tournament. That tournament is probably best remembered for Maradona's 2 goals against England in the quarterfinals. Maradona outjumped England keeper Peter Shilton as he thumped in the first goal with a raised fist, which he later dubbed as being scored by the hand of God. The second was an incredible mazy slalom run from his own half when he dribbled past 5 English outfield players and was voted as the goal of the century. The jersey he wore that day, along with the ball from the match, have both previously been sold at auction. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti said on Tuesday that his side played worse than Bayern Munich in the first leg of their Champions League semi-finals. Ancelotti, who was critical of his team's commitment in their 2-2 draw in the first leg in Germany, reiterated his view about their subpar performance, but remained confident they could progress to the final at Wembley. Defender Dani Carvajal, winner of 5 Champions League titles with the Spanish giant, will return from suspension for Wednesday's second leg at the Bernabeu. Thanks for joining us on Signature TV News. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.